Hello. It's me, oh Lord. I am back. This is Dr. J. I am back for day 19, and you're back as well. So, as I always start out, I am going to make sure that I share this out with others on a few of my other platforms while you guys are joining me here. And then we're going to get started. So as you join, make sure that you say hello. Let me know that you're out there so that we can get started here shortly. If you're joining, say hello. Give me thumbs up, heart love. Who's out there today? This is day 9 of the 30-day productivity challenge. I am so excited. Tomorrow we are at day 20. Obviously that comes out to 19, right? But we are nearly done with this thing, right? But we're only going to be done with the challenge, right? That's when the real work starts. So that doesn't mean that it's over. It's just starting. So I have one more place to share this, and we're going to get started. I hopped on a little bit early today because I have a few things I need to get knocked out and make sure I get some rest tonight. So figured I would go ahead and hop on and give you guys some love before I shut it down for the night. Okay. I think I have successfully shared that in all the places of which I intended to, and I usually do. So hopefully you are doing the same as you're hopping on, as you're joining. Unfortunately, I've noticed that after I close out my lives, that there are some additional comments that you guys are making, some folks that are hopping on during the live that I'm not able to see. So I just want to make sure that you know that I'm not ignoring you, okay? Not ignoring you at all. This is the Facebook algorithm, right? So I'm not ignoring you. If I didn't respond, that's because I did not see it come up on my screen. So forgive me, but I will definitely respond thereafter if I notice that you did say something to me during the recording, okay? So as I always say, if you're hopping on, welcome to my virtual home. Welcome in, and make sure that you say hello, give me heart, love, thumbs up, say hi, let me know where you're from. If it's your first time, let me know it's your first time because I've got to pop that cherry because it won't be your last. Hey, Veronique, thank you for joining. Yeah, so I had to get on a little bit early today. I had to get some things done this evening before I call it a night. And yeah, didn't want to miss out on this opportunity to share with you principle number 19. So if you don't know me and if this is your first time joining, hey, Axis, I missed you yesterday. I don't think I saw you yesterday. Thanks for the hard love, Veronique and Axis. Thank you guys for joining. So make sure you guys are sharing this out. Make sure you're giving me heart love. Letting me know that you're there. Give me thumbs up. Let me know if it's your first time. So again, this is Dr. Jatun Dorsey. I am an Amazon bestselling author, speaker, life and business coach, professor, and corporate chick. Now, the professor piece is why I need to hop off early tonight, or really why I hopped on early, because I got to grade some more papers and get these final grades out, right? So I wanted to make sure that I did not neglect my challenge. As I always say, I am committed to this thing. We are almost at day 20, which means that we're just even more close to the end. And again, that doesn't mean that that's where the party ends, right? That's where the work really begins. So I'm glad you are joining now. It's never too late to get started, and make sure that you catch me on my previous recording. So they were live, of course, but now you'll be watching the recording, which is fine, right? Just catch up, binge watch. I know you got some days off for the holiday. So use that time so that you can catch up, and that way tomorrow and the days following, you will be right on pace with where we are. So if you don't know, this 30-day challenge is all influenced by my book, Intentional Living, that was released earlier this year. It's in the book. I share 30 productivity principles that help you increase your productivity while maintaining peace of mind. And that is what we're all about, right? Being intentional for one, then two, being productive, right? For two, and then three, most importantly, we are here to maintain our peace of mind as we continue to be progressive and productive in our lives. We've got so many different things going on, whether it be being a wife, a husband, a parent, you're working, and then you have the audacity to have a business. So you got a lot of things going on. We just want to make sure that you remain on track, that you remain purposeful, and that you don't give up, right? When we quit or when we get tired, we don't quit. We just rest, right? And we got to hop back on that horse. So that's what this is all about, being productive. Oh, Access, yeah. So usually when you're watching the live, there's a button at the bottom, and maybe this is only if you're on your phone, but there's a button at the bottom that says notify me when this person goes live or something like that. So I don't know if that's only on your phone, and I'm not sure if you're watching on your phone or on your computer device or not, but you may try to look for that. So hopefully you can do that so you know exactly when I come on. So we've been talking about some good stuff, y'all. So again, if you haven't caught the previous lives, make sure you catch the recordings, because we started off talking about shifting your mindset. And that's important because that's the foundation to getting your action right, right? We got to reframe some of the thoughts, the negative thoughts in particular that we've been having, right? That are driving us towards stagnation and talking ourselves out of greatness and out of those things that we're fully capable of achieving. So that was the first step, and that was step one, but there are 5 sections of the book, right? So within step one were 7 different principles that we talked about that helped you shift your mindset, that helped you reframe your negative thoughts, move past being negative Nancy and Debbie Downer, right? So we had to get all that, we had to clean house, right? So that's what you really have to do when you want to start anew, especially for 2018, a new year. That's what we do, right? And that's another reason why I wanted to do these lives in December, because December comes every year. We know it, but somehow, some way, every time it comes, we forget, and we're awakened and reminded that this year is about to be over, right? And then we start thinking about all the things that we did or we didn't do, and we start to beat ourselves up in a street fight because we didn't get all these different things done on our vision board. Vision board got a little dust on it, right? But it's time to reassess and not necessarily beat yourself up, but to figure out exactly what it is that you accomplished from those lists of things that you intended to accomplish. And let's figure out how we can do that in 2018, right? So let's not waste time beating ourselves up, being upset with ourselves and having regrets. Let's now take the necessary action that we need to do. Oh, great, Access. So I guess I was correct. I don't know if you're on your phone or not, but good thing that worked. I'm so glad. Thank you, Veronique, for sharing. Hello, Jackie. That's y'all remember that show back in the day? That's my mama. That's my mom. That's my mama, Jackie. Hey, Mom. Tidra, thanks for joining. And thanks for sharing that for Access. Yes, Tidra be on it. Let me tell y'all. So that reminds me too. I got to give her an extra shout out. And she said, "Sure, I'm so thankful." Oh, thank you, Access, for thanking Tidra for giving you that tip. So Tidra, I met Tidra. I guess it's probably been a couple years now ago. I spoke at an event a couple years back, and I met her at the event. She was an attendee there, and ever since then she has just been such an awesome add to my life, to my business. She is an admin in one of my groups, so make sure you check that out. It's called Fearless and Massively Empowered. So if you're on my page, if you follow me there, you would have seen a post, I think either today or yesterday, about that group. And in the group, we particularly focus on increasing your recollection, so to say, of the fact that you should be fearless and that you are empowered, which means that you have everything that you need. You were born with everything that you need to do all that you desire to do in life, right? So we support each other. We give each other encouragement. We hold each other accountable. And she is one of the the other moderator in the group. So I commend you, Tidra, for that. You are on it, girl. You do the darn thing up in that group. So make sure that you all follow me there, follow us there, join us there, because it It is a sacred, safe place for us to share and hold each other accountable. So, Axis, right? And Mother, do you see Tidra's comment? She says, can she get that cake though? That pound cake. Everybody learning about that pound cake. You're going to have a business before you know it. Didn't even sign up for it. I'm just saying. Hey, Dr. O. Thank you for sharing. So yeah, Miss Jackie, she's just gonna have to be in the kitchen baking up some pound cakes, and she don't even know it. Even if it's by the slice, we're gonna get her in that kitchen and sell some of them slices. Tidra. Oh, of course, love. I am so appreciative of you. And Tidra is also one of the co-authors of the Intentional Living anthology that I've talked about, right? That I continuously share throughout the lives. That usually at the end I save the best for last. But she's also one of the co-authors there, so she is doing some awesome things as she is blooming for the 2018 year. I'm just saying, we can't leave her to bloom alone, right? So as I was saying, we were talking about shifting your mindset. So we've gone past that section. We've built the foundation. Then we went into not failing to plan. So you don't want to fail to plan. You got to get a plan in place, right? Because without a plan, we plan to fail. And that's typically what happens because we think that we can just go about life and things will just kind of fall into place, right? People will just come to us that we need, the resources that we need. But in fact, you really have to have a plan. Now, that's not to say that your plan is always going to go as you intended it to, right? But it's good to have a plan because now you have a thought in your mind. You have the mental space to say, I know this is what I'm holding myself accountable to, right? So that you can now refer back to that and say, this is what I need to do. And if you get an accountability partner, then that's what you can communicate to them as well to say, these are my goals, right? And hold them accountable. What are your goals? Did you write them down? Let's get some milestones. Let's set some dates. Let's get real about this thing because I'm just saying today's topic is going to tie right into that. Y'all ready for it? Good, because you're going to have to wait one more second. Then we went into making every minute count, right? We talked about there being 1,440 minutes in a day, which means that you got 1,440 opportunities to be great, to make an impact, to be successful, to be productive. You got opportunities. Whereas at a point in life, we were in oppression, right? We were oppressed, but now you got opportunities. So there's no excuse for you not to take advantage of these opportunities. I'm not saying you got to grab everything at once, but I'm saying grab something. Hey, Lakeisha, thanks for joining. Thanks for the thumbs up. And thank you for sharing. Hey, Varian, thanks for joining. Thanks for the question of the topic for today. We are getting to that. I had to catch everybody up, and I think this may be your first time joining as well. I hadn't seen you on, I don't think. Don't hold me to it. But today's topic, you're right on time with that question, or either I'm right on time with reading it. Thank you, Axis, for sharing it. So we just talked about the making every minute count, which we closed out, right? We closed that one out yesterday. So today we are finally in section 3, right? Let me make sure I ain't off here. No, we're in section 4, but we're on principle 19. Principle 19 is documentation beats conversation. You got that, Varian? Documentation beats conversation. Let me see somebody type that in. Documentation beats conversation. That's something that we got to remember. So I need somebody to type that in. And when you do, that's when we're going to get into the topic and talk about what that truly means. Documentation beats conversation. So we have talked about setting the foundation, reframing your mindset, right? We've talked about getting your plan together. We talked about making every minute count. In other words, don't waste a minute, because if you're not monitoring your minutes, you're typically wasting it, right? So making every minute count. And now we're talking about documentation beats conversation. Thank you, Dr. O. I think everybody else's fingers moving a little slow here. But we're in the section of making it happen. So we're talking about documentation beats conversation. There we go. There you go. Okay, Axis got caught up too. So thank you guys for posting that. Documentation beats conversation. So, in most cases, folks will say, don't hold me to it, right? If you didn't record me, you didn't document it, you can't prove that I said that, right? So when you think about that, hold yourself to the same accountability when we're talking about your goals, your successes, your aspirations, right? So it brings me to a story, again, kind of related to my doctoral studies, but it expands beyond that. But I recall, before I had my marvelous Apple, my Mac, right? I had Toshiba, I had HP, I had all these different devices, right, as a computer. And I don't recall which of the two I had, but I'm sure I went through a couple while I was in my doctoral studies. But I saved everything on this device, right? So that thing was, it was like life to me at the time, because it was my blood, sweat, and tears. Like, I'm just saying, y'all don't know about them papers, them late night papers. Right? So it had things on there that I cherished, that I needed, and even things that I felt like I would need even after my studies, right? So I wanted to have this stuff in a sacred place. However, right, unexpectedly, my device crashed. And guess what? I lost everything. That just took me back. I had to take a deep breath on that one. So just imagine having all of your work that you've spent hours upon hours on, right, to just completely disappear, and you have no control over it. So in that time, that's when I learned. I took my device or my computer, whatever it was. Again, I don't know if it was a Mac, it wasn't a Mac. I don't know if it was an HP or a Toshiba. It was one of the two. But when I took it to the doctor to get this thing fixed, the first question that the technician asked me was, do you have a backup? And I'm going to pause there as I'm reading these comments. Hey, okay, hopefully I'm not butchering this. Cardarius, thank you for joining. Thanks for the thumbs up. Misty, hey girl, thanks for joining. I remember Misty's name. Dr. O shouts you out all the time, so thank you for coming to join me. You on a late night paper right now, so you know all too well what I'm talking about. And thanks for the compliment on my glasses. And yes, Tidra, it hurt me to my core. It did. You got a new crush, Cardarius? Thank you. So, yes, I threw a tantrum, right? So you would just assume that I was a baby who lost her pacifier, because it was just, I'm just saying, I didn't know what to do, who to call. I couldn't call Tyrone because he wasn't going to help me then, whoever Tyrone is or was at the time. But the key is, the first question was, do you have a backup? And I said, well, no, actually, I don't. But that was the first moment that I realized the importance of having a backup. Now, granted, since then, I have too many backups, because that lesson was about lesson. And as my dad used to tell me, about lesson is the best lesson. And I tell you what, I learned. As they say, you're going to learn today. So I got me an expansion drive that I back up all the time, right? Whether it be weekly, however often, but I do that because of that particular lesson. But here's the point that I'm trying to drive home. And that is, all too often we try to remember everything, right? We try to hold everything in our minds and our memories, and we expect that we're going to recall everything. We expect that we're going to remember every appointment, every task, every game that our children have, and without not documenting anything. But all too often we forget the fact that our brains are not built to do that. Oh, goodness, you guys are too funny. Hey, Cheryl, thanks for joining. Yes, Axis, Tyrone. But yes, so we depend upon our brains to remember everything. Now, we know that our brains are a powerful tool, right? But you also have to understand that it was actually built for us to, or designed to forget some things, because that's what's helping us keep our sanity. Otherwise, we'd have all this stuff piled up in our minds and we can't even think straight. Some of us can't do it now. I'm just saying. So that is why it's important to get your thoughts out of your mind and onto paper, which goes into the topic today, right? That is documentation beats conversation. So instead of us continuously talking about it, and instead of us continuously thinking about it, let's put that thought, that talk, to paper so that we can hold ourselves accountable. Not only that, but again, it keeps you on track, right? It reminds you of those things that you have that you need to accomplish, right? It tells you exactly at what point you need to do that, because as you're documenting, you should be marking milestones. So whether that be, I need to complete this next year, or I need to get this done yesterday, right? So then that helps you outline and get really clear about what you need to tackle today. That way you're also not overwhelmed or driving yourself insane. As we just talked about, your brain is conditioned to cause you to forget things so that you don't go crazy, right? So you need to dump all that stuff onto paper. And guess what? That's your backup. So that's the thing that I needed to do. And that was the lesson I learned when I lost everything on my computer, right? That computer for us right now is our mental space. So what is it that you need to take off your mind and put onto paper and hold yourself accountable for so that you know exactly what it is that you need to do at every moment? Now, again, that goes back to another topic we talked about previously. And again, if this is your first time joining, make sure that you catch the replay so that you'll know what I'm referring to when I do refer back to previous principles. But we talked about creating that sacred space, that trusted system, so to say. And that's where you'll make these documentations. Because that's the system that you're going to refer to all the time. That's the system that you're going to run into, whether it be a sticky note on your garage door as you go out in the mornings, whether it be a calendar book or a journal with a nice saying on the front, whatever suits your fancy, right? But make sure that you have this common place that you have that you can always refer back to and that you do refer back to regularly to hold yourself accountable. Oh! Teacher said, Axis, make sure you join our group, the Fearless and Massively Empowered group. I mentioned that earlier. I did share a link to that on my page. If you're following me, make sure that you check that out and join us there. Hey, Kiyoki, thanks for joining. Guys, make sure that you're sharing this out. We've talked about documentation beating conversation, how that plays a part in increasing your productivity while maintaining peace of mind, right? We're all about intentional living. And this is just one of the many ways that we can do that, right? This is one of the many principles that we're sharing throughout this 30-day challenge. That's not just a challenge for me, but a challenge for us to increase our productivity while maintaining peace of mind. So Axis, you said, this is where I fumble, but I'm going to do this to scratch off my list as I complete now. Wow. It's like, wait. Oh, good. I'm so glad you joined. And hello, Liabo. Thank you for joining and thanks for the thumbs up. See who else is joining. I see heart, love, and thumbs up. Thank you guys for sticking with me and letting me know that this is resonating with you. So let me know if you have any questions while we're on, because we won't be on too much longer. Y'all know I try to cut it off, before you get too comfy. Now that I've invited you into my virtual home. So one last thing that I'd like to mention about the documentation based conversation topic, because as usual, you need to go out and get you can order it right in the comfort of your home. My book, Intentional Living. See it here? I will be sharing a link for you to purchase. And yesterday I shared a link for you to sign up to get a sneak peek of the book as well. So if you would like to take advantage of that, let me know and I'll share the link again here. Otherwise, you can click the link that I'll post an attachment to this video once we close out the live so that you can purchase your copy. And that way you can follow along. And then there are productivity ponders at the end of each principle or chapter, right? That will jog your thoughts, right? Create some type of action in addition to the inspiration and the stories and the principles that you're getting, right? So I want you to move past stagnation, move past empowerment, but into action, right? Consistent action, to be more specific. But the last point I wanted to make. Okay, so Axel said share the link. That's all I needed was one person to say it. So before I share this last thought on here, let me do that so I don't forget, because I will. Let's get this shared out for the good folks. But this last point, there it is. Just posted it for you. So this last point, when it comes to documentation beating conversation, research has proven that people remember 10% of what they read, only 10%, 20% of what they hear, 30% of what they see, and 70% of what they say and write. I'm going to say that one more time. This is research proven through statistics that people remember 10% of what they read, 20% of what they hear, and then 30% of what they see, but 70% of what they say and write. 2 steps. Documentation beats conversation, right? So we need the documentation to back up that conversation that you're having, because more than likely, those are the things that you're going to remember. Those are the things that you're going to hold yourself to, right? Those are the things that you're going to recall so easily. I know that even for me, I like to have a paper calendar. Now, I've told you in a previous recording that I also use my phone because I like to get those alerts, right? But for the most part, I'm writing in a physical calendar because I like to scratch out. I'm just old school with that piece, right? So I like to write it out because I feel like I am more likely to recall it if I'm writing it down. And then I can easily go back and I carry that thing. That's my trusted system that I talked about. I carry that thing everywhere I go, right? I probably need to get a smaller one for 2018 so it's more compact. But yes, that is what I have committed to. Okay. Awesome, awesome. Thanks for the heart love, Cheryl and Cardarius. Thank you guys for the heart love. I did share the freebie link, so make sure that you click that if you want to get a sneak peek of the book. But otherwise, you will be able to order your very own copy. And I've mentioned this before. I think maybe only on one previous recording, but you will only be able to get a signed copy directly from me if you order it from the link that I share. You can also order it on Amazon, but that's coming from the inventory I have with Amazon, so it's not coming directly from me with a signature, okay? So if you're looking for a signed, autographed, straight from me copy, use the link. Make sure that you do that. So, hey Marlon, good morning, as you would say at night. Thanks for joining. We were just actually about to close out, so you're going to have to catch the replay. But we talked about documentation beating conversation. So we've built this thing up, right? We've gotten our mind right. We got the plan. Then we had to realize how every moment counts. And now we're trying to make things happen. No, take the trying out. X that out. We are making things happen. And we're walking through those principles now. And today was the first principle in that section. And then we'll be progressing on to the final section. But we have a few more days to go. Tomorrow marks day 20 as we progress towards day 30 for this 30-day productivity challenge for you and for me. And remember, I'm your success synergist, which means that we work together to achieve the success that you have envisioned for yourself, your future. Of course, Axis. I thought about that. I had to do my best thinking in the shower. At one point, I thought about that, and I mentioned that about the ordering, I think maybe a couple episodes ago. So I had to throw that back out there just in case somebody was new to it. Make sure you got all the information that you need, because I don't want any hiccups, and I want you to win as well. And you need to get your copy to follow along and hold yourself accountable. And guess what? It's Christmas, right? And as my cousin would say, Christmas time. These can be some great stocking stuffers. I'm just saying they would be lovely in someone's stocking. So make sure that you do take advantage of that. And you want to give someone something that will change their life, right? Not something that they will wear for a couple months and then throw out or can't fit anymore, right? This is something that they will always be able to fit in their life, right? So as we close out, of course, I want you to make sure that you connect with me. Please, please, please connect with me, because I am so appreciative of you joining my live, and I hope that you enjoyed all the information that I've shared today. Of course, I don't want to spill all the beans from the book, because then what's the point of you getting your copy? Huh? What? So make sure that you continue to tune in as I continue to share some of these productivity principles, right? So connect with me. I'm on Instagram, Straight Flexing, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn at DRJATUN. You see the spelling there at the bottom. My website is also DRJATUN.com, right? I had to get that out. I can't even spell my own name. What's up with that? So make sure that you do connect with me, whether it be on my website, emailing me, Got a few emails since this broadcast has been going on. So thank you guys for all that too. I got a shout out to those folks who have reached out. Make sure that you order your book, and I'll be sharing that link. And then, of course, I mentioned the Intentional Living Anthology book that's going to be released in 2018. So we are on fire, right? On fire starting now. As I always say, there's no perfect moment, right? So we got to make things happen now. Ain't no use in waiting for 2018. 2018 gonna have to wait for me. How about that? Because we're coming. So 2018, we are sharing and launching a book called Intentional Living, right? Where it's going to be a complement to the book that I am leveraging for this 30-day challenge. And why do I say that? Because this 30-day challenge is about principles, tried and true principles, right? Practical tips. However, the anthology is more about lived experiences. So these co-authors are sharing some experiences that they have experienced in their lives, right? But more so, how did they intentionally overcome or learn to cope with that thing that they were challenged with, or that barrier that they faced in life? So make sure that you continue to follow so you can hear more and more and more about that. I want you to be at the launch. I want you to be one of the first to get your pre-sale copy. I want all of that, right? And let me know how I can support you. Let me know. Make a comment. Send me an email, because that's what it's all about. We can only grow if we support each other. It's never a one-man show as much as you may think that it is. I'm just saying. I'm here to remind you that it ain't. Thank you, Axis. So, Dr. O, yeah, crib my time. So, yes. And Marlon said he gonna check out the reruns. I hadn't heard that one in a while. The reruns. But yes, please do. So we got all of that, and then we got the Day with the Dorseys, the new episode for this week. Dropped. You know, I like to say dropped when I talk about the podcast yesterday. So make sure you catch that. We talk about a great topic, communication. Yeah, I know some of y'all think you can communicate out there, but I'm just saying. We got some work to do. It's okay though. We're going to work through it. So make sure you tune in on the Day with the Dorseys. Link will be shared here as well. So I want to make sure that you connect with us there, because, you know, I'm just saying we're winning. We're winning together. We want you to win. So make sure that you tune in. What else do I have here? I think that's it for tonight, other than one other thing. So if you've heard A Date with the Dorseys, you know, I'm surprised Teacher didn't say this already, but you know our little jingle, and it rings in your head. Well, I got one for Dr. J too. So I want y'all to hear this. Y'all get the listen. This the listening party. That's what this is. This last part of this live is the listening party. Okay? So I'm going to play this for you guys, and you let me know what you think. Because it's got me jamming, but tune in and let's hear what you got to say. Lorenzo, what are you saying? You all using Facebook and social media. Oh, thank you. I try, right? Positivity, influence, right? Encouragement, empowerment, moving into action. I'm just saying. That's what we do around here. So here it goes. Listening party. Dreaming. All things intentional, personal, professional. That's Jatun, Dorsey. That's Jatun.com. So what you think? I love it, as you see. I got to get my dance on every time I listen to it. I'm going to start doing all kind of things. Y'all just don't know what I might break out with. So Lorenzo gave me a thumbs up. Axis, you said you were listening. What you think? I'm just saying, dream big. All things intentional, personal, professional. So it's going to be ringing in your head, right? So I got to play that for you guys and make sure. Axis said, hey. So that means you like it too. Thanks for that feedback. So guys, I am going to shut it down yet again. Make sure, oh Marlon, you like it too. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Axel. That's what I wanted. Something to move you in a happy way. Get you, excited and, inspired, encouraged, and moved. Right? Make me want to play it again. But no, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for continuing to tune in throughout this 30-day challenge. We got some more days to go, but that's okay. And remember, it doesn't end at day 30 because that's when the work truly starts. Because right now you're in study mode, right? So we are talking about all the principles that you need to incorporate. You're taking notes, hopefully. You're holding yourself accountable, hopefully. And you're sharing this, hopefully, so that when we get to the end, now you got your plan laid out and all you got to do is put one foot in front of the other, right? Despite the fear, despite the distractions, despite, we are going to get into consistent action together, hold each other accountable, and do great things as we prepare for 2018. Yes, Tidra. Intentional living, listening party. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. I don't know what I was doing. It just made me do all kinds of things. You just never know what's going to happen. But thank you guys for all the awesome feedback, the positive feedback. And you'll be hearing that again, of course. But I just had to drop it to you guys. So y'all got the first dibs on that. I'm just saying, that's going to go gold. And y'all get to say, I heard it first. Right there on Dr. Jatun's live, right? So with that, I'm going to close it out. Remember, thank you, Dr. O. Thank you so much. You all, Dr. O, I got to say that, give her a shout out again too. She's always actively sharing, and she has her group, Cussing and Cardio. I'm just telling y'all, it is a trip. She has me cracking up every time. So make sure you catch her as well in her group and on her page. Thanks for the heart love, Cheryl and Mother. Thank you all for tuning in. So as I always say, there's never a perfect moment, but what you got to do is make this moment that you have perfect, right? Let's get moving. Let's be consistent. Let's let's definitely be intentional about the movement that we're doing, right? So that's what this is all about. So I hope that you have been encouraged and inspired to move into action today and beyond today as we prepare for 2018. So this has been yet another challenge day, and we're going to close it out with that. I hope you guys will be back tomorrow. If not, make sure you catch the replay. Okay? Until next time, peace, love, and hair grease. Hey, Craig, I saw you just hopped on. We were just closing out, so catch the replay. Bye for now.